Eyeglasses, any frame, any lens, any prescription. We've got your style. New technologies like titanium, magnetic clips that change in a snap. Come to Sears Optical for the right eyewear at 50% off right now. And don't miss the lowest price of the season on AccuView 2 contact lenses. Total vision care from the store you trust. Sears. Good life, great price.
We were on a wireless family talk plan. Imagine worrying about overage charges for 4 people.
Hi, Mom.
Give me the phone.
I think...
Get off the phone. How long have you been on?
Dad?
So they stopped talking to me.
Only Singular has family talk with rollover. Unused anytime minutes, rollover month after month, so you're protected from overage charges months you talk more. Now add a line for only $9.99 and get a cool Nokia phone.
I call it my, no, it's okay, don't hang up plan.
Family talk with rollover. Another reason why Singular fits you best.
If not for Channel 10, it wouldn't have happened.
Channel 10 problem solvers.
The 2003 Northeast Power Blackout. ABC News Live coverage continues. Once again from Washington, Ted Koppel.
What we've been covering, as you probably know by now, for the past 5 hours is the biggest electrical blackout in U.S. history. And what we are covering right now, as you look at that live picture, is the beginnings of some good news. It ain't much yet, but a few of the lights are coming back on in Manhattan, and I am told that power is back up in parts of the Bronx. Power is back up in Detroit. I don't know if that is in the entire city or just parts of it, and also parts of New Jersey. So once again, and that I think is a view of New Jersey across the Hudson River, where quite a lot of the lights are on. As yet, Manhattan is not doing all that well, but they're beginning to get the electricity up again, and that would be awfully good news. And this is all according to the pattern that experts told us would be followed. It wasn't all going to happen at one time. They have to do it stage by stage. They have to be careful that they don't overstrain the ability of the power grid to handle it as they go back on again, so they're just going stage by stage. But it does look as though they're beginning to get the power back, and that would be wonderful news for the citizens of the Northeast and parts of Canada and Michigan and Ohio, Connecticut, New Jersey. It hasn't gotten as far south as Pennsylvania, although I gather it's hit a couple of the northernmost parts of Pennsylvania. It hasn't gone as far south as Philadelphia. I'm reporting to you tonight from Washington, where we are not having those problems. But let's take a look. My colleague Chris Wallace has put together sort of a collection of impressions of what's been happening over the past few hours. Let's take a look at that now.
Traffic jams in New York City stretch for miles. Not just drivers operating without traffic lights, but tens of thousands of pedestrians who decided the best way, perhaps the only way to get home tonight, was to walk. Most public transportation was shut down. No trains or subways were running. Transit Authority police evacuated people who were trapped in the subways out through tunnels and up to the streets. The blackout hit shortly after 4 p.m. Thousands of office workers streamed out of their buildings. They had to walk down because elevators were not working. Out into the streets in 90-plus degree temperatures. Cell phone service was disrupted. Lines for payphones ran a dozen deep. There were disruptions across the country. 9 nuclear reactors from New York to Michigan were shut down because of the loss of power. In Cleveland, traffic snarled when the lights went out. In Montreal, power went out in the second inning of an Expos baseball game. Late this afternoon, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg tried to ease fears about what knocked out power to a large section of the country.
There is no evidence of any terrorism whatsoever. For some reason or other, there was a power failure in northern New York or southern Canada that cascaded down through the system and affected the power grid as far east as Connecticut, as far south as New Jersey, and as far west as Ohio.
Still, the Pentagon launched an unscheduled combat air patrol over the eastern United States as a security precaution. Dark smoke could be seen pouring from a power substation in the New York area, but Mayor Bloomberg flatly denied reports of a fire, saying the smoke was a normal function of the automatic shutdown of the city's power system. Whatever the cause, Mayor Bloomberg was optimistic the blackout wouldn't last too long.
That power is starting to come back from the north and from the west. What that means is that we will be starting up power in the city. It will take a decent amount of time.
Reports from the street were that people were remarkably calm. Some civilians tried to help by directing traffic themselves.
A very quiet city. There are no fires of any size going on at the moment. There's no criminal activity of any size taking place or hasn't been reported. 911 is working. 311 is working. Things like traffic lights are not working.
Air traffic headed into 3 New York area airports was affected. Ground stops were also put into effect in Cleveland, Toronto, and Ottawa. That meant flights to those cities yet to take off were grounded. Some flights already in the air were being allowed to land, while others were being diverted.
Stay on the sidewalk. Get back on.
But what may have been most remarkable about the massive power outage was that people were taking it in stride. New Yorkers were certainly still being New Yorkers. The big question now, what would happen as night fell?
As Chris Wallace was reporting there a moment ago, there were ground stops at all the major New York airports, 3 of them, LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark, but they have now all been lifted. The last one was out at JFK. The planes are once again flying out of JFK. I don't know if they're all on schedule. My colleague Brian Ross has been up in the Harlem area for much of this evening. Brian, if you can hear me, give me a sense of what's going on up there.
Well, it's very dark. There are no lights on here, Ted. What we see mostly are the red glow of the safety flares being used by police officers to direct traffic. People are walking around as if it's a family stroll. I wouldn't call it